This Partners in Healthcare segment is sponsored by Always Best Care Senior Services.
Parents and their adult children may find the need for in-home care or guidance to discover the best match for assisted living. Lynn Hancock and Joan Shiflett, both with Always Best Care, join us this morning. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We've been talking all morning long, and you both are valuable resources in this process of determining whether you need in-home care, assisted living, and kind of discovering that best match. Tell me, how are families getting started on these conversations and finding success?
Well, our first process is to sit down with the family and really understand what their real needs are, whether their preferences are to be at home or if their preference is to find an assisted living community. And from there, really understanding, asking the right questions, understanding what their needs are, their location preferences if they select assisted living, what their budgetary stipulations are, and things like that. Really asking the correct questions to find out what their needs are.
And when we were talking about this earlier, Joan, you know, people don't know the questions to ask until you almost find yourself in the middle of all of this.
You do. You spend quality time with the client to really know them, to really find out what their wants, their needs, their financial situation, if we're trying to find a new home for them. But we also do in-home care ourselves, and we do non-medical in-home care. So we do companion care that focuses more on like preparing meals, running errands, taking them to the grocery store, taking them to the doctor, to personal care, which we do help with bathing, dressing, any type of personal care needs that they have.
Mm-hmm. And this sandwich generation is certainly becoming more familiar with this because we find, well, we have aging parents, we've got our own families. How do we make all of those ends meet?
That's correct, and one of the things that makes us a little different from some of the options that people have for in-home care is that we don't have minimum hourly requirements. So we are able to, we have specials like good morning, good night. Maybe a parent needs someone to come in the morning for 2 to 3 hours to get them up, dressed, breakfast on the table, ready for their day, and then they don't need someone to come back until the evening and do a meal prep, do linen changes, help them get undressed and ready for bed. So almost like a tuck-in, wake up and a tuck-in service. Mm-hmm. We do offer services from 1 hour to 24 hours a day, and live-in care as well.
And this is a unique service to Richmond, that you're the only group that's doing this type of work.
We're the only group that provides both commodities, mm-hmm. in-home care and also free placement. So the services that we provide as far as placement is concerned is of no charge to the client whatsoever.
And I think that's really interesting that you have the opportunity to go through and work with families to find that right fit. Mm-hmm. Do you see a big difference?
It is. I mean, we have clients that are just ecstatic that we know as much about them as we do to be able to place them in the best community. And it's amazing how the communities tell us, how did you just match us so well? But that's the part of intimately knowing the client and intimately knowing the communities that we network with constantly.
Mm-hmm. And with this in-home care, you'd like to give people the opportunity to get to know you guys a little bit better, right?
Yes, if anyone will call our offices, on the south side of Richmond, our office, or in the north of Richmond, we will be offering 4 hours of free in-home care services when they sign up for 20 hours of services with our companies.
I would imagine that when this sandwich generation finds out that this resource is available, there's probably a tremendous amount of relief, because it is difficult to pass those responsibilities to another party.
It is. I mean, many people are saying, you know, you're a godsend, because we just didn't know that there were companies out there that would spend this type of quality time with us to really know us and to really help us with our wants and our needs. Mm-hmm. So we're finding that is so important.
Fantastic. Well, we'll let everybody know how to get in touch. You guys have 2 locations, so we got to make sure we get all those phone numbers and everything out. Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, learn more about Always Best Senior Care Services, and you can connect with Lynn at Richmond North online, alwaysbestcarerichmond.com, by phone 368-3200, or in the office at 4870 Sadler Road, Suite 300 in Glen Allen. And connect with Joan at Richmond South online, alwaysbestcare.com/Richmond South, by phone 920-9190, or by visiting 10810 Hasty Lane, Suite 103 in Midlothian.